Hey, Lena says she likes my Tentino chart. It's not even a Tentino chart anymore. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Bitcoin. And you can see now that Bitcoin is at $57,000. You know, it's up 80% since the correction in May. Bitcoin's up 80% since the correction is in May, believe it or not. So if you take this level over here and you go to here, Bitcoin's up like 80%. And actually, Bitcoin is only 80% away from 100,000. That's it. It's like 80% away from 100,000. That's 80% up since May. So a lot of people are talking about 100,000, and to me, 100,000 actually may sound a little bit conservative. And I'm going to show you why I think that 100,000 Bitcoin is actually super, super, super conservative. In fact, today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Everyone's been talking about Bitcoin. The talk out there is about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is swallowing the alts. So for the next 40 minutes, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin only. It's going to be a Bitcoin maximalist show. For 40 minutes, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is so great and why I'm selling my Bitcoin. That's what we're talking about for the next 40 minutes. Oh, welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man. Welcome to our channel. If you're new to our channel, this is a Bitcoin maximalist channel. All we do all day is just talk about how amazing Bitcoin is. And today we're going to talk about how amazing Bitcoin is, and we're going to talk about why I am selling my Bitcoin. No jokes. I am selling Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you why I'm selling Bitcoin. I'm going to show you the data, and then you can make your own decision. So if you're new to our channel, you've come to the right place. Welcome. You are officially part of 404,081 people that make up the most loyal community in the entire crypto world as per the YouTube statistics. You are part of this family, and if you're not, well then subscribe to the channel and join us on this amazing journey. I'm not allowed to say the word wife changing anymore. I keep getting into trouble for my ways. Can't say wife changing anymore. I can't promote that NordVPN like I've been promoting the NordVPN because people are complaining that it's actually against the law to do that. So can't do that anymore. Yeah, so welcome to our show. If you're here, you could be part of the most loyal community on in crypto, including this dude over here who tattooed Crypto Banter on his leg. Now, I have a little bit of bad news. We're changing the logo tomorrow. We're going with a completely different look and feel. We're changing the logo to look something like this. We think that this is a better representation of who we are. So we're changing the logo to this round logo over here. I'll show you. Yeah, we're changing it to this round logo with the orange. You see that logo? See if I can find it again. So you see that logo over there? That's going to be the new Crypto Banter logo. So this dude, his name is Salm. I think his name is Salm. You're going to have to change your tattoo, bro. Have to change your tattoo. No kidding. I am kidding. We're not changing the logo. The logo, this is the new logo. I told you guys you're part of the most loyal crypto community in the world. I didn't think anyone would actually go and get a tattoo about being part of the most loyal community in the world. Fred, have you ever seen a BitBoy tattoo? There's no such thing as a BitBoy tattoo. There was the one girl that I met, she had a tattoo on her back and it said George, but that was actually her boyfriend, George. But I mean, I know, this is crazy. I'm not saying anyone else should get a tattoo. Please do not get tattoos. That's not what we want from you guys. But we do love how loyal you are. So subscribe to our channel if you're new to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, that's also cool. But then you can't win the amazing prizes that we are giving away here today, because only people that comment can win, and you can only comment if you have, if you're a subscriber. That's YouTube has one good feature. So today I'm giving away the 3 kingdoms. I'm giving away $500 in pre-IDOs. Only when we get to 5,000 likes, so smash up those likes. I'm going to give away a lot. I'm going to give away like 7, right? Because the IDO is tomorrow, right? So you want to give away the money today, because then tomorrow it becomes a whole lot of like, you want to get your money tomorrow. I'm also going to give it away to people in the subreddit, the Crypto Banter subreddit. I was here earlier, and I want to actually address some of because we encourage open and honest and everything behavior in the community. And, I really encourage you guys all to voice how you're feeling about the community, because we take the community feedback into account, and we really care, because everything we actually do is about community. And I think you guys have noticed that. And so today I'm going to be giving away some giveaways to people in our Reddit. But also, when I was looking at the Reddit, I saw a whole lot of things here. One of them comes from a guy. His name is you read that. So wouldn't it be better to focus on a topic to educate the Banter fam instead of hosting a show saying, we already told you all of this, so we won't review the coins. BTC, then big alts and small alts. I hate to say it, but the show is losing educational value. So we do try and educate you as much as possible. We also do have masterclasses, which are starting to happen. But ultimately, we've got to keep you abreast of what's happening in the crypto community right now. And so if we think that staking is a big narrative right now, we'll tell you about staking being a big narrative right now. A lot of people here, or someone here commented, and I want to address this, but they spoke about, let's find out who they are. Trying to find this thing. They were talking about ASICs. Here we go. So it's from Schweppen. Schweppen, you know what? I'm going to give you $500 in because this is a guy who says it as it is, and we must take feedback from our community. So I'm going to give you $500 in the 3 Kingdoms IDO, even though you said a bad comment. That's cool. I like the bad comment. You said, personally, I believe guys are pushing sponsors down our throat. VPN and domain names as an example. Probably they get a reasonable amount of money promoting coins like Coty, but I can live with that. My attention and focus goes to Sheldon explaining the charts. All the rest is just fun for me. But yeah, I hear you. So let's just get this straight. We only bring on sponsors when we think the sponsors can help you. Otherwise, we do not accept any sponsorship. We have been offered, and in fact, just 2 days ago, I returned money to a sponsor, which one of the people in the office had sold the sponsorship to, and I said, this doesn't add any value to our community whatsoever, and therefore, unfortunately, return the money. What they're trying to do is shill you a token. But things like unstoppable domains, which is, in my mind, the future of domains, right? Things like unstoppable domains, things like having a VPN when you are in crypto, which to me is part of the most basic toolkit in the world. If you are in crypto, if you don't have a VPN, then you ain't worried about your own safety and security. Unstoppable domains, if you don't have your unstoppable domain, and unstoppable domains are now linked to crypto wallets, then you're going to lose your domain, like I've been negotiating and actually buying back my domains from other people. So that's that. In terms of promoting coins like Coty, because we probably get paid a reasonable amount of money to promote coins like Coty. Here I draw a line in the sand, because we are the one channel in the world that does not accept any money from tokens to review their tokens. Never, 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 never will we accept. I've shown the Banter community that I've returned $10 million to a project because they wanted us to show them as part of our investment thesis. And I basically said, there's no way that I'm selling my credibility to anybody in the entire world. We have a vision. Our vision is to build 24/7 live, credible, streaming crypto content that you can count on, which is unbiased and which actually guides you through this complicated world of crypto. And I will never, ever, ever sell the integrity of this channel, not even for $100 billion trillion, not even for $1 Brazilian, not even for $1 Brazilian would I sell the integrity of this channel, ever. So I do thank you, Schweppen, for your feedback, and I hope I've addressed your concerns. And as a gesture to thank you for giving us such great feedback, I'm going to give you $500 in IDOs. And this is just to show that we take the good with the bad, and we learn from what you guys are saying. And there's a reason why we do repetitive shows, especially now, because repetitive shows this is what's happening on the market, and we have to get this message through properly because a lot of people aren't getting the message. So actually, I prefer the other music. Okay, rant over. Just a reminder, guys, Bybit, we are taking screenshots or readings of the money that's in Bybit, and at the end of the week, we will give 50 times $1,000 in BitDAO tokens to 50 lucky people. And that is because some people forgot to press the join now button. So that's happening. Make sure that you are on top of that. Is there anything else today before we get into our Bitcoin only show? Is there anything else? Let me just quickly look and see. Is there anything else? Because we're actually only going to talk about Bitcoin today. Only Bitcoin. Yeah, of course, we have to talk about Bitcoin. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's get to the topic at hand. And that is, of course, Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin is trading at $57,000. As I mentioned to you, if you take the bottom, which was around May, $30,000, you go up to $50,000. You're talking about an 80 or even 85% increase in just a couple of months. And if you think about what that means, it means that if Bitcoin goes up another 80 something or so percent, then we are going straight to $100,000, which in my mind is a very conservative target. It really is a very conservative target. And I'm not saying that because I'm comparing it to the charts. Because whereas, of course, I believe in technical analysis, I don't base my analysis on technical analysis. I base my analysis much more on the fundamentals. And when you look at the fundamentals of Bitcoin, then Bitcoin is actually a scarce asset with an ever-growing client base. And when you look at the fundamentals of a scarce asset like gold, like Bitcoin, like even real estate, you look at the stock-to-flow ratio. And the stock-to-flow ratio says that when the halving happens, about 15 months after the halving, remember when the halving happens, you effectively halving the supply of Bitcoin that is available in circulation. Now, in a market like gold, when you halve the supply that's available in circulation, kind of means nothing. Because the supply, the existing stock in the market is so big that it doesn't actually make a difference. But with Bitcoin, because we are growing so fast in terms of adoption and we are reducing the supply, it starts causing what they call a supply shock. And if you look at what Plan B says about the supply shock, he kind of shows that what he does here, he takes the years after the halving. And he says, this is the first cycle. The first one is the 2012 halving, because remember, the halving happens every 4 years. And he looks at the first halving, which was very quick, as you can see, in terms of months. Bitcoin peaked about 12 months after the halving, before it started to go down. In the second halving, the peak was about 18 months after the halving. But in both halvings, what you can see is that you can see that there is a parabolic increase in the Bitcoin price, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 months, and now possibly again. Now that correlates with Benjamin Cowan, and he says if you look at, as measured from the halving, Bitcoin is only 8 days away from the cycle lengthening. Assuming 64K is not the top, which I don't think it is, as measured from the bottom, there's still a long way to go. And I mean, without overcomplicating it, each line here is a halving. The red line is the first halving, and you can see that it went absolutely parabolic. The white line is the second halving, which went absolutely parabolic. And the third one, which is the blue line, is where we're at now. And it kind of makes sense that this halving is going to go, that the Bitcoin price is going to go parabolic. But the cycle is going to get much longer. So you see the cycle, the first halving peaked about a year after the halving. The second cycle peaked about a year and a half after the halving. And it does look like the next cycle is going to be a much longer cycle after the halving. So both Plan B and Benjamin Cowan and many other analysts all talk about this halving after this parabolic bull run after the halving. And it makes perfect sense because Bitcoin is a scarce asset. And when you remove 50% of the supply that's coming into the market from the market, then what that means, against the background where there's increasing adoption, and we'll talk about the increasing adoption, it means that the price is going to go up and is going to go up, I mean, almost parabolic unless something happens, unless something completely happens. The problem with this cycle for me is that it is playing out too much like 2017. If I look at 2017, it's playing exactly like 2017, but too much like 2017, even in terms of dates. So if you think that we're going to get a longer halving, and I mean, for those people who said they didn't get education in this show, then I'm not sure how else I can educate you guys other than showing you this. Look at 2017. So we had the dip in September, 14th of September. We are about here. We told you that we are expecting this because this is when the Bitcoin dominance will actually come down. So let's quickly look at that. And that is the 13th of November. Now let's quickly go to the Bitcoin dominance and let's go look at and see what happened on the 13th of November. Look at that. That's when the Bitcoin dominance came down. So now you've got, let me take you back there. Let me show you both charts next to each other. You've got Bitcoin coming down in November. Let me just show you how severe that crash was. That crash in November was from 7,888 all the way down to 5.5. So that is 40% off. And look what happened to dominance. The dominance basically got destroyed over here, started to recover, and then that led us into the longest alt season, or the strongest alt season that we could ever imagine. Now, the two cycles are looking very similar, too similar, except we think that this cycle is actually going to be longer because that's what the data is telling us. So does that mean that we're going to get a longer parabolic bull run? Does that mean that we're going to get a parabolic bull run that's going to be much more aggressive? That is what it sounds like. And if this cycle is as similar to previous cycles, then we've got to look at what happened to altcoins in those previous cycles. And it's all very well that we can talk about Bitcoin, and I actually want to show you this. So let's get these two charts next to each other. And I really want to show you what happened here. Let's look at Bitcoin and let's pick a date. Let's take today's date. So let's go to 2017 and let's go to today's date, which is the 12th or 13th October. And you can see that Bitcoin was trading at about $5,000. And the top was $20,000. So we had a 4x run in Bitcoin from October. Kind of makes that good sense. Let's see what happened to altcoins. So let's take today's date. Today's date is about here. The altcoin market cap was 57 billion. And then let's look what happened until we got the top. It was 9 times. So Bitcoin went up 4 times and altcoins went up 9 times. So the altcoin run is much more aggressive than the Bitcoin run, primarily because alts are less liquid, and when as money flows into alts, the altcoin market explodes. So you can see it again. Let's just look at it again so we're all very clear. In October, the Bitcoin price was 5,000. The top was 20,000. We had a little correction from 7,800 to 5,000. When this correction happened, until then, you can see that the Bitcoin dominance went up and up and up and up and up. You can see there it is, the Bitcoin dominance going up and up and up. You get to November, here we go, sorry, up and up and up and up and up. You get to November, the dominance collapses. It tries to recover, and then it goes all the way down. And that's when we get a parabolic altcoin season, which looks like this. So let's look at when the parabolic altcoin season started. It was the 7th of December. That's like the beginning of the parabolic altcoin season. And let's look at when the dominance started to drop, 7th of December, right? And that is exactly, yeah, you see, 7th of December, dominance drops, parabolic alt season. 7th of December, you can see over here, 7th of December, little correction, and then bang, we go to the moon. So that is the data. And when I overlay that data against how long this cycle should actually be, it does point to the fact that we're going to get a much longer cycle this time. And I mean, this guy, TED Talks Macro, says a huge alt season is coming. It looks like 2017 all over again. Everyone is kind of seeing the same pattern, or especially those people that have been here for a long time are seeing the same pattern. It's the same pattern emerging. Now, it's like watching a movie twice. when you watch the movie once, you don't know what's going to happen. So you sit there and you go, are they going to fall in love? Is he going to cheat on her? And then you watch the movie the second time and it's like, okay, I've seen this movie. I know exactly what happens. So you know exactly what's going to happen. The movie is playing out so much like the original 2017 production that in 2017, this is what happened. I want to show you something. In 2017, this dude, his name is Jamie Dimon, he's head of JP Morgan, one of the biggest investment banks in the world.
Earlier today, that Bitcoin was a fraud.
Yeah.
Why is Bitcoin a fraud?
Yeah, so separate blockchain, which is a technology, from Bitcoin, the currency. And now there are multiple currencies. And so I'm talking about not Bitcoin per se, I'm talking about currencies. The first, and the reason, and I'm not saying go short, because I know Jim Chanos was up there. Bitcoin can tell $100,000 of Bitcoin before it goes down. So there's not advice on what you do. My daughter bought some Bitcoin and it went up, and she thinks she's a genius now. But it's I did refer to it as like the tulip bulb crisis of the 1700s or whatever. But here's the reason. Governments, the first thing they do is form a currency. They like to control the currency. They control it through a central bank. They also like to know who has it, where it is, where it's going. Okay, and you just saw China just is closing down the Bitcoin exchanges. And what all I ever said is that at Bitcoin, the bigger these things get, the more governments right now, they look at it as a novelty. They love and...
I mean, just get what he just said. He said he's talking about China closing down the exchanges when Bitcoin was 4,110 in September of 2017. If I were to play this video today, it sounds like this video comes from today. If I were to change this chart over here and make this today's chart, it's exactly the same thing.
In Washington, talk about this technology, we love technology. Wait until someone gets hurt. Wait until it's used for illicit purposes, which it is somewhat used for illicit purposes. They close it down. And that's my point. So it's not, you can argue and I also think there's a good reason for it. If you're in Venezuela or Ecuador or North Korea, you're better off probably using Bitcoin than using their currency. That can't possibly be true in the United States, unless you're speculating. And that isn't a reason to say something has value, because other people are going to speculate. That's tulip. And that's what I was saying. So I don't think, and also, like I said, the other reason to close down is because it's used for illicit purposes. And so it's just not a real thing. And eventually it'll be the emperor without clothes.
So it's not a real thing. It's going to be the emperor without clothes. Now, let's quickly look at this. So Jamie Dimon said this on the 12th of September, 2017. This is when it was published by CNBC. I remember it very clearly. It was part of the CNBC Finding Alpha conference. Now, let's see what happened in 2017. We said it was the 12th of September, 2017. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in for you guys for the 12th of September, 2017. That is the 12th of September, 2017. Okay, so Bitcoin went from 4,168. It dropped 40% on the back of Jamie Dimon's comments. 40% Bitcoin dropped on the back of Jamie Dimon's comments in 2017. I remember it clearly. I was there. I heard it. And I remember how everybody panicked when Jamie Dimon, the head of the biggest bank in the world, came out and said that Bitcoin was a fraud. Bitcoin was all about speculation. Okay, fast forward to 2021. Play what he said in 2021, Freddie.
Check out Bitcoin hitting a fresh 5-month high today, topping 57,000 for the first time since May. It's now just about 11% away from its all-time high, but not everyone is convinced by this breakout. Listen to what JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said about Bitcoin earlier today.
I personally think that Bitcoin is worthless, but I don't want to be a spokesman. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I don't think you should smoke cigarettes either.
So he's comparing Bitcoin to cigarettes. He's saying he doesn't care. Okay, what has that done to the price? So remember in 2017, when Jamie Dimon spoke, it took the price down. Here we go. Went down from 4,168 all the way down to 3,000. Let's see what Jamie Dimon's comments have done this time around. Fast forward. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm fast forwarding a whole lot of years. Let me just make that chart a bit more presentable. Okay, let's go. Actually, let me make my screen smaller, and that way I can fast forward it much quicker. Okay, so what have Jamie Dimon's comments in the last 2 days done to Bitcoin? Pretty much absolutely nothing. pretty much absolutely nothing. The more important thing is that was 4168, right? That was 4168. So Bitcoin went to 20,000 about 3 months after Jamie Dimon made those comments. And now you got to kind of ask yourself, what's going to happen to Bitcoin 3 months after Jamie Dimon made exactly the same comments this time? The cycle is playing out exactly uncanny. China bans Bitcoin, Jamie Dimon bans Bitcoin, then Bitcoin goes up 350%. Then altcoins go up 600%. I don't see any reason fundamentally or technically that this time should be different. And that's how I'm basing my decisions. That is why I went onto the tile today and I said, I'm selling Bitcoin because I'm basing my decisions on data. I'm not just clickbaiting. I'm basing my decisions based on data. What is the data showing me? The data showing me that 2017 is after the halving, 2021 is after the halving. The halving is taking a bit longer this time because it's a prolonged cycle. Agree. Jamie Dimon fighted Bitcoin in 2017. He's fighting it again in 2021. But what he doesn't seem to understand is that Bitcoin doesn't really care. So if you look at today, Bitcoin is bigger than Jamie Dimon's bank. In fact, Jamie Dimon's bank has a market cap of 497 billion, and Bitcoin has a market cap of 1 trillion, which means that Bitcoin's almost 3 times, or it's 2.5 times the size of JP Morgan. And in 2017, Bitcoin was a fraction of JP Morgan's price. More important is that Ethereum is now catching up to JP Morgan, and probably within 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks, Ethereum is also going to trump JP Morgan. And so Bitcoin doesn't care about what Jamie Dimon thinks, because Jamie Dimon, unfortunately, this time he's part of the old and he's part of the obsolete. He's not part of the new smart money. He's part of the obsolete people that are running away from an old, antiquated business model. And you know what's protecting that business model? The only thing that is protecting that business model is government and regulation, protecting the banks, trying to slow down adoption of Bitcoin. But remove government regulation, which eventually will fall away, and then you're going to get the banks completely disrupted, and they're not even going to feature on this list. And the smart money kind of knows about it, because if you look at the whales, what are the whales doing? I mean, I'm going to show you quickly, because I hate talking about the whales. Exactly, Diamond and Dinosaur. Remember, there was one whale that bought 1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. Okay, people are telling me to turn off the Wi-Fi. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi here. Why is my internet slow? Okay, so let me switch off the Wi-Fi, see if you guys can still hear me, see me. Hi everyone. Okay, so you see whales, one whale bought $1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. Who is that? That's not an individual, that must be an institution. Smart money, smart institutions are moving into Bitcoin. Will Clemente says the same thing. He says, over the last month, we've seen 10 million plus transactions dominating volume, reaching as high as 84% of overall volume. Okay, so the transactions are no longer retail transactions. The transactions are institutional transactions that are coming into Bitcoin. The time of retail driving this market is finished, and the institutions are now starting to buy into Bitcoin. The institutions are here, they're starting to buy into Bitcoin. Finally, we've said it for a long time. You can see that because even the hedge funds are now saying, hey guys, you know, if you work for us and you hold any crypto, you need to disclose it to our compliance. That's from Hedge Fund Millennium, they do that. And what we can see is that it's institutions driving Bitcoin. That's actually why I'm selling my Bitcoin, because it's institutions that are driving Bitcoin, and that is why I'm selling my Bitcoin. We'll talk about that in a second. I think we just have to accept that Bitcoin is swallowing up all the assets, all the value in the world. So the first part of the value that Bitcoin is swallowing up is it's swallowing up gold. It's anyone who wants to store a value, buy Bitcoin. But then it's also swallowing up all the value that was captured by financial intermediaries who were making excessive money on our backs. And that is why you can see that Bitcoin and even Ethereum are swallowing up the institutions. Ethereum has a bigger market cap than the biggest S&P 500 ETF, which is a SPDR, S&P 500 SPDR. Ethereum has a bigger market cap than that. It shows that crypto is sucking out the value from all these intermediaries who would used to make money because of inefficiencies. That is what's going on here. And the institutions are realizing it, and they are starting to put their money into Bitcoin. And that is actually why I'm selling my Bitcoin. So you get it. Because the institutions are coming in, that is why I'm selling my Bitcoin. Because in this revolution, the smart money is actually not the lots of money. So when I think about an institution and how institutions invest, if I think about your average JP Morgan or your average fund, they are so highly regulated in terms of what they can and can't invest in, and they are so behind. The real money is actually made by people who discover things early and are willing to take a bet on things early. That's who makes the real money in crypto. The people who made real money in Bitcoin are the people that discovered Bitcoin in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2014 or 2015, and I was late. I felt like I was late. I paid about $500, and I felt like I was late. Because there were people, smart money people like Chamath Palihapitiya and a whole lot of others, who landed up buying Bitcoin a long time before me. And they are making their money when the masses come in. When Bitcoin went from $100 to $55,000, those bees, the smart bees, are actually going on to better investments. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree. Bitcoin is the king. Bitcoin has a lot of upside. My portfolio has a lot of Bitcoin in it. In fact, I think 40 or 50% of my HODL portfolio still sits in Bitcoin. But I think the real money is going to be made in the next disruption. I think in terms of store of value, Bitcoin is already working. And I think the institutions are going to come in and they're going to take it from $50,000 to $1 million. And they're going to 20x the value of Bitcoin. 20x the value of Bitcoin. But I'm not after those kind of returns. I have got Bitcoin in my portfolio, but I'm looking for the Solana type returns, where at the beginning of the year, let me show you. Let me show you. I'm not going to tell you, I'm actually going to show you, because earlier on, everyone was saying, how can you say that? How can you sell your Bitcoin? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what my thesis is and why I'm not selling all my Bitcoin, but I am getting out of my Bitcoin positions, because I think there are better opportunities in other things. So let's quickly look at Solana. I'm going to make this a weekly chart. Let's make it a 1 month chart. Okay. And we can see that, well, okay, 1 month is a bit too ambitious, I would say. But let's look at Solana chart, and let's go back to, okay, here we go. Let's go to June. Solana was 63 cents in June. 63 cents. Okay, now Solana is at $143, and actually Solana hasn't even started. So you ask me, okay, why are you selling your Bitcoin? There are two reasons why I'm selling my Bitcoin. The first reason is because the herd has arrived. The institutions are here. The dumb money in this case, I'm not saying all institutions are dumb. I'm saying about 98% of them are dumb. The other 2% are actually very smart. But the institutions are are now coming into Bitcoin. And the regulation is also allowing them to get into Bitcoin. And that could take the price up to $1 million. But the institutions aren't yet in the smart money. Now, when I look at where the smart money is going, I look at people that I respect, people like Chamath Palihapitiya, Friedberg, Sachs, all the guys from the All In podcast. And this is what they're saying. Just listen to this.
At what point is the appreciation in an asset that you've invested in early something you need to, at least clear a position of and lock in a win? I mean, what's enough? 100x, 500x? You got to, at some point, bank a win, right?
Well, I think you have to put things in a bucket of like, is it an investment or is it something that represents an idea that you love so much? If it's the latter, you should never sell. If it's the former, yeah, you got to manage risk. And
or rather, is it a trade or is it something you want to own?
By the way, let me just clean this up, because Solana was not a direct investment for us. What we did is we invested in a crypto venture firm called Multicoin Capital. This is back in 2017. We realized like crypto was becoming like a full-time job for us. It was a total rabbit hole. And we were like, we don't have time to figure out this like 24/7 trading stuff. But we met Kyle and Tushar, who were these two young guys. We met them through Vinny Lingham, actually. And they were creating Multicoin Capital. And we actually invested, we gave them $1 million at a 20 cap to help set up their firm. And then we invested in they had both a venture fund and a hedge fund, and they were like the first money into Solana. So that fund, I mean, it's like a 100x fund. It's just like bonkers.
Crazy.
And so as a result of that, we are indirect beneficiaries of this huge increase in Solana. It will end up being about, $1 billion of, I think, Solana for us in terms of returns. But it's the multi-coin guys determine the trading decisions on that.
So they invested $1 million, which will end up being $1 billion for them. These guys invested in Bitcoin in 2013. In 2017, they invested in the funds that invested in Solana. And this is where I think everybody is getting this wrong. There are two reasons for me to sell Bitcoin right now. One is because I'm more confident than ever that the Bitcoin dominance is going to drop like it has in every other cycle, and it's going to go back to under 38 or 37. It's happened before. It's happened every time before. It happened at exactly the same time in 2017. Okay, it's going to happen again. It's just a matter of patience. But if I'm wrong, I'm holding good enough quality alts that, and that's the next part of it. The second reason why I am selling some of my Bitcoin, I'm still never touching the Bitcoin in my HODL portfolio, is because I think that the smart money is actually looking beyond Bitcoin at the moment. And they're saying, what are the disruptive technologies that are going to disrupt next? The previous disruptive technology was Bitcoin, but Bitcoin works. And Bitcoin has been successful and is already well into the process of disruption. And therefore, I think that if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, we may actually get a 20x return. And a lot of my portfolio is looking for the 20x return. But the rest of my portfolio is actually looking for the 100x's and the 1000x's. So if I look at it again, I want to show you again. I know you think it's crazy, but things like Solana, Solana was very, very quick, which went from 63 cents and it went all the way down to $150,000. But let's actually expand that. And then I'm going to show you what they all have in common. So let's look at Axie Infinity. So Axie Infinity, I'm just trying to think of which exchange would have had Axie Infinity listed for the longest. Let's look at this. No, not long enough. Binance. Okay, so let's look at Axie Infinity. So even Binance, that's fine. It takes Axie Infinity is a 2017 project. 2017, 2018 project. It was trading at $1. It's now trading at $122 not because it's a great game, but because it's a technology that's actually going to change the world. And they've been working on it since 2017. This is what the biggest thing that I want to share with you guys. We're not in this for the next week or the next month. Yes, we will try and make as much money in the next week or the next month. But if I look at my portfolio, the places where I've made the most money are the places where I've bought an amazing technology and then I've held it. My biggest positions, Arweave. Let's look at Arweave. Let's go and look at Arweave. And I can tell you, because it was not listed on any exchanges for a long time, Bilaxy is the only exchange that I could find it on. I don't even think we'll find it here because, Bittrex might have it, might have Arweave. That's Arweave Bitcoin. So let's go on to Arweave USDT. Okay, let's see if we can find Arweave USDT. Okay, we can use this one. So if you look at 2020, and it's a 2017 investment, Arweave was at $1.35. It's trading at $53, and it's well on the way up. It's probably the cheapest, most undervalued thing. Let's look at another one, which is like this. Let's look at Luna, and let's look at Luna. Probably not on Binance, but probably we should look at it on. Let's find an exchange which has it. Let's just think which exchange used to have that's Bitcoin. Let's quickly look. So Luna USD. Let's look at an exchange. Let's see when. Okay, bad exchange. Let's see how this one does. Bad exchange. So Luna is a token that I held from 2017. I've been holding it and holding it and holding it since 2017. And you can see that it was trading at pennies of a fraction of a cent, fractions of a penny in 2017. And today it's trading at $37. It's down a lot today, but it's been as high as $48 and $50. The most money I've made is holding these technologies. And that's true for any token that you look at. Look at Arweave, look at Axie, look at Fantom, look at Ethereum, look at NFTs. NFTs aren't new. NFTs are 2017 invention. CryptoKitties was launched in 2017, and only now it's coming into its own. Luna was a 2017 ICO. Arweave was a 2017 ICO. Axie Infinity was a 2017 vintage. Ethereum was a 2016 or 2017 vintage. You look at all the biggest coins out there, the vintage was 2016, 2017. And this is the part that I think that most people are getting wrong. They're coming into crypto because they want to make 100% and they want to make it in the next 3 months or 4 months. But the real money that's going to be made is by following the smart money and investing in protocols that are going to change the world, and then leaving your money in there and allowing for the compound effect. In 2017, we never had staking. We never had staking. You could not stake and earn a whole lot of money like you can today. Today, you can stake your Solana at 7%. You can stake and make money on your money. It's much easier to make money today if you can identify the right technologies. And what you've got to be thinking is you've got to be thinking about 3 years forward. And when I think about the world in 3 years from now, I see Bitcoin getting to $1 million, but that's only a 20x increase. I'm not in this for 20x. I'm in this for 20x on my Bitcoin, but for the rest of my coins, I'm in this for the 100x's and the 200x's. And I'm going to apply the same formula. I'm going to invest in protocols that I think are going to survive. And I'm going to give them until the next halving to prove me wrong or right. And if you do that, this is what happens. This is what happens. Look, Parabolic. You name the coin. Here, let's actually do this. Let's take Fantom. Okay, Fantom. Let's try and find. It's very hard to know which exchange had it listed. So let's try Fantom Bitfinex. No, not good. We need the one that's been on for the longest. Okay, let's try that one. Okay, look at Fantom. And this only goes back to 2018. Fantom was less than a cent. It was a fraction. It was less than a cent. And if you look at it, if you just draw a line from 2017, let's say 2017, which was here, to here, look what happens. Did I just get kicked out of the stream? I better log back in, huh? Oh, I'm still on the stream. Okay, so I'm on the stream. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Why am I not seeing myself on the stream? Aha, there we go. Okay, so if you look at what happened, basically, the line went absolutely parabolic. That's what happened. You need to zoom out. You need to give these investments enough time to mature. You can't be here for the month. And so, again, you ask me, why am I selling my Bitcoin? Because the dumb money has arrived. The institutions are here. And if the institutions are here, they're going to push it up 20x, and Bitcoin is going to get to $20 trillion market cap. I'm not in this for 20x. Some of my portfolio is, but not all of it. So I'm following the smart money. And the smart money, as I told you, has moved to things like Solana and to identify the next disruptors that like Bitcoin was. And that's why I'm selling some Bitcoin. And then on top of that, because the cycle is playing out exactly like 2017, I have no doubt that the Bitcoin dominance will come down. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, it might be in a week, it might be in a month. But I have no doubt that the Bitcoin dominance is coming down. And I'm willing to bet you a haircut. If anybody wants to take the bet, I'm willing to bet you a haircut. Just let me know. I was going to bet Arrington a haircut, but then he shaved off all his hair. So he doesn't even have hair anymore. So now I've got a big problem. Alrighty, that's me for today. I want to just do some giveaways. Do we have 5,000 likes? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my analysis and whether you're going to do the same. Remember, I do have Bitcoin in my portfolio. It's a very important part of my portfolio. It's a very important part of my HODL portfolio. I never sell my HODL portfolio. but I mean, I've got to follow the smart money. And the smart money is going into other things. Look, I saw this today. Consensus, which is a non-Bitcoin thing, valued at $3 billion. Coinbase's co-founder, Fred Ersam, is raising money at a valuation of $1.5 billion. Celsius raised today at a valuation of $3 billion. The money is not in Bitcoin anymore. The smart money is moving. It's moving. It's moving. Look at it. It's moving. It's moving. What is this article? Crypto payment startup MoonPay, valued at $3.4 billion. The smart money is not in Bitcoin anymore, guys. Yes, the institutions are coming into Bitcoin, but the real smart money, not there. Okay, let's do some giveaways. Let's do some Q&A. Let's do some giveaways. Congrats, Sheldon. Welcome back, Run. I don't have much, but I hope I can be chosen to change my life. That is, we have awesome from Stephen Ritchie says, awesome wisdom. Thank you. All right, I don't want to keep the show going for too long. We did give to someone in the Reddit community, we did give them a giveaway. I think we should do one more in the Reddit community. Who should we give it to? Okay, let's have a look here. Let's give it to someone who gave us constructive criticism. So let's put 7759 $500 was it $300? I might be wrong. $500 in the Three Kingdoms. So TTG, you get yourself the RDOs tomorrow. Remember, if you're American, you can't participate. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's do some giveaways for people who are here. I do see here a guy, and his name is DJX2. Run, show me the honey, please. $500 in the Three Kingdoms. Which IDOs tomorrow? Everybody, give him a big round of applause. Let's do one more. Here we go. Run the man, Giancarlo Sestrone. He gets himself $500. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think on Twitter. I'm at CryptoManRun. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we may have an early show because I'm flying to Dubai. We'll decide tomorrow. So just follow my Twitter, then you'll see everything. So see you tomorrow, guys. Until then, I'm out of here. Trade well.
Sure, that got real. That was real.
You did.
Yes.
Can I come to Dubai?
No, you are doing using Jennings. So.